Well, hello there, my name is Peter Thomson and I'm delighted to welcome you to this slightly unusual video. As you see, I've got here on my table, I've got my toolbox, and the reason is that I want to share with you one of the top 10 tools that I use in my life to enable me to be more successful both personally and commercially. And I share this with my key clients and have done over the last few years, and whenever they've used it, they've enabled themselves to get total clarity. Let me show you. Well, actually, no, it isn't a saw, but it's a good metaphor because this particular tool, which I'm going to get out here in a second, cuts me away and will cut you away from the wrong actions which get in the way of you achieving any goal. So let me put the saw away because we don't need that for the minute. Take the tool out, close the box up, get it out of the way, stick it on the, oh dear, that's heavy. Stick it on the floor there, and let me get the details of the tool out for you. It is called, you can see it here, it is called the Yesterday's Road Method. And this is what it's going to do for you, and it's done for me for many years. I'm going to give you the background in a moment. It's going to enable you to know for certain which actions will lead you to the achievement of any goal. Now that's a big promise, but this really is a major tool in my toolbox of success. Let me give you for a moment then the background of the idea, and here's where it is. Many years ago, I ran a business. It was the third business that I'd had, and it was called Compass Leasing PLC. And I had a business that was a leasing broker. We used to effectively sell other people's money for them so they could get tax shelter on the money and they could make a margin. And I had a business with 65 people that I built up over a 5-year period. And it was a very successful business. It was making lots of money. Now, I decided to sell the business, and I was introduced to a potential buyer by a friend of mine, and we did the deal. And this is the deal I did. I sold the business for £4.2 million, and this is many, many years ago. But the deal was done on a 1-year earn-out basis. The purchaser actually wanted a 3-year earn-out, but I said no. So I did it on a 1-year earn-out. They gave me £1 million in cash at the front, plus £1.6 million in shares. So that was £2.6 million to start with. And provided that I hit the figures over the first year, turnover and profit figures, I would get another £1.6 million after the earn-out period. So it was a 1-year earn-out period. So the total, 2.6 and 1.6, that was 4.2 million. $1 million in cash and 3.2 million in shares. Now, this is what happened. Halfway through the earn-out year, the year was March to March, we lost a major client. It wasn't because we did anything wrong, we just lost this client. They moved out of the leasing industry, and this was really going to make a big challenge for us, and I thought it was likely we might not hit the target figure, and therefore we wouldn't get the second tranche of the money. Now, considering I owned over 90% of the business, you understand that I was on a hell of a deal here. It was going to cost me a lot of money, like £1.5 million. So I gathered the director team together and I said this to them. I said, let's imagine that it's the 31st of March next year and we have not hit the earn-out figures and we are not going to get the second tranche of the money. Now, we've got to feel this. We can't just, not to worry, we didn't do it. It's got to be, you've got to be really angry, you've got to be upset, got to be tears, got to be so emotional about it. And when you're in that emotional state, this is what I got them to do. I said, answer this question for me. If only I'd, and write down anything this marvellous neck-top computer tells you. Now, it's not if only the government, it's not if only the weather, it's not if only the sales team, it's not if only other people in the business, it's if only I'd. Personal, total, utter personal responsibility. I sent them off, and they came back half an hour later because I had just half an hour to do it. And in that half an hour, I did mine as well. I was writing down everything my mind told me. If only I'd done this, if only I'd done that, if only I'd done the other. They came back half an hour with their information. There was 5 of them. I put that together with mine, and I spent the rest of the day creating an action plan between that point, which was in the September, for the next 6 months through to the end of March the following year. Every day when we came in, the directors and I would look at the plan And the only things we would do each day was the things that were on the plan, because I'd created the plan for every single day for the 6 months. At the end of the 6 months, we had soared through the figures and we got the second tranche of the money, the other 1.6 million. Now, since then, I have refined the process somewhat to make it even more powerful, and I've been using it now for well over 25 years, and it works. Now, to give you some idea of how powerful it is, a friend of mine is called Brian Tracy. You might know of him. He's a famous presenter worldwide. He's Canadian, but based in America. And Brian mentions part of this Yesterday's Road method at the start of his program called The Psychology of Achievement, the latest version of it. And he says this. He says, my friend Peter Thomson in the UK, that's me by the way, has a process to enable you, an amazing process to enable you to know the precise actions that you need to take to achieve any goal. And what Brian is talking about, he's talking about this, the Yesterday's Road method. So here's the new version of it for you, so you can take it away and use it anywhere. This is what you do. To start with then, you sit down and you imagine that you're at the point where in the future where you should have achieved the goal. And you say to yourself that you have not achieved the goal. You get annoyed about it, you get upset about it, you get angry about it, whatever is the emotion that gets you into that emotional state. And when you're in that emotional state, you ask the question, and you do it in writing, and you go, if only I'd ... Your mind understands it's a question. If you want to make it into a question, you can go, what are the dots? ? And you put the question mark there because that, as somebody once said, wasn't me unfortunately, said the question mark is the enter key on your laptop computer. You then write down everything that you can imagine, everything that your mind says, this is what you should have done. Because remember, you're in the future having not achieved the goal. Then you relax, you change state. Maybe you get up, you have a walk around, you have a glass of water, you go outside for some fresh air, and you come back and you sit down again. Now what you do is you go forward to the future, you imagine it's the point where you could, should, wanted to achieve the goal, and you say to yourself, yes, I achieved the goal because I. So now it's in the positive. I achieved it because I ... What are the dots? ? And you write down anything additional your mind wants to tell you that it didn't tell you when you did it in the away motivated version of If Only I'd. So we've now got two versions. We've got the If Only I'd, which is the away motivation version. Away motivation is the catalyst for action. And now we've got the towards motivated version, Because I, which leaves the positive impression in your mind. Then all you simply need to do is to get those ideas that you've written down, prioritize them, and make absolutely certain you've got them in the right order, and then you start to take action. Now, when you're writing, important point, don't edit, don't go, oh, maybe that wouldn't. Just write down whatever your mind tells you. Now, where can you use the Yesterday's Road method? You can use it for any goal, commercial, personal, social, anything. You can use it for becoming more successful in business. You can use it for speaking better in public. You can use it for becoming fitter or losing weight or doing whatever it is that you want to do in your life. The Yesterday's Road method will work for you. And this is why. You know you better than anybody else knows you. I know me better than anybody else knows me. I know all my inner thoughts, my demons, my angels, my everything about me. I know. And therefore, when I ask this focus question, these two focus questions... Thanks for watching. Subscribe and hit the notification bell for more videos. Then click to watch the next video. Remember to visit our website at peterthomson.com and download your free copy of my latest book, How to Write Your Business Book in 5 days or less. Until next time, every success.